everybody, and welcome to the next video on solving quadratic equations. In this video, we have a look at solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is used to solve trinomial equations. So it has this form, ax squared plus bx plus c. So what happens is we then use this formula where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is our constant term. So this is the formula that we'll be using in this exercise. Write it down and then you can reference it a bit later. This formula is usually provided on a formula sheet, so you don't have to normally remember it. So if you would like, please pause the video and attempt these questions first before continuing with me. So let us start with the first one. First to use the formula, we have to get it in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, which it is in that form. So then what we can do is we can identify our a being the coefficient of x squared, our b being our coefficient of x, and our c being our constant term. So then what we're going to do is use a formula that x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So then we're going to then just substitute. So in the place of b, we'll put 3. So minus, and b is 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared. So 3 squared minus 4. A is also 4, and c is negative 1. Be careful to take it with the sign and not leave the sign behind. And then a again is a 4. So we can simplify this. This is negative 3 plus or minus 9 plus 16 over 8. So if we simplify this further, then we get minus 3 is equal to plus or minus 25 all over 8. Now 25 is a perfect square, so we can say that this is equal to minus 3 plus or minus 5 over 8. So then our one solution is the positive one, so minus 3 plus 5 over 8, which is 2 over 8, which is a quarter. And our second one is x is equal to minus 3 minus 5 over 8, which is minus 8 over 8, which is minus 1. So there are our two solutions for x using the formula. Let us have a look at the next one. So first of all, this one isn't in the correct form, so we're going to have to get it in the correct form. We do that by getting the one side equal to 0 and putting it in ascending order. So from the biggest x squared to the smallest, descending order. So we have minus 2x squared plus 8x. So those two I just swapped around in order of x. And then when I take the 1 over, it becomes positive 1. So then again, we're going to identify our different elements. So what we have is negative 2, the coefficient of x squared is a, 8 is b, and 1 is c. So then what we're going to do is then use the formula that x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So then we get minus 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times negative 2 plus 1 all over 2 times negative 2. So all we've done in the place of b, we've put 8. In the place of a, we've put negative 2. And in the place of c, we've put 1. So let's continue simplifying that over here. So x is equal to negative 8 plus or minus 64 plus 8, if we multiply that, all over 4. So x is equal to minus 8 plus or minus, so 64 plus 8 is 72. So then that's over 72 over 4. So our one solution is x is minus 8 plus root 72 over 4. And our other one is x is equal to minus 8 minus root 72 over 4. Now, what you would want to do is carefully read your instructions as to what form would they want the answer in. So there's different ones. Sometimes they would like you to give it to them in simplest third form. So in simplest third form, that's just simplifying the third over there. So for example, 72 is 3 root 2 over 4. I mean, sorry, 6 root 2. Okay, wait, the final answer is minus 8 root, so that's the simplest third form. And then, or you can round it off to 2 decimal places or whatever decimal places they say. So if it is 2, then it is 0,12. So you have the different options, but which one you use, you need to check the instructions of the questions. So always read the question to see which form that they would want it in. So if it's simplest third form, we're going to get minus sorry, this one should be minus 4. Okay, minus 4. And then this one here is also minus 4 minus 3 root 2 over 2. Sorry, this should also be a 2. That one should be a 4. This one here should be a 2. Sorry about that. Or so that's the different forms that you could have it in. Let us have a look at the next one. So we have one side equal to 0. So let's identify our a, b, and c. So a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is our constant term. So then using the formula that x is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, we get that x is equal to minus 14. Look at this, it's negative in the formula, and the b value is negative, so it's a negative, plus or minus 14 squared minus 4 times 7 minus 2 all over 2 times 7. So this here is x is equal to negative gives us a 14, plus or minus 14 squared is 196. And then 4 times 7 times 2 is 56, and then it's positive 56 over 2 times 7, which is 14. So this here is x is equal to 14 plus or minus the square root of 252 over 14. And again, you can see which form was the question asked in to see which one you have. So your two solutions, one of them is 14 plus 252 over 14, and the other one is x is equal to 14 minus root 252 over 14. I'm going to round it off to 2 decimal places. So 14 plus root 252 over 14 is equal to 2.13 to 2 decimal places, and 14 minus root 52 over 14 is negative 0.13. Okay, so you need to read the instructions to see which form that they would like it in. So let's do these last two. So we would like to identify A, B, and C, and then we use the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it's minus b, so minus 12, again there's a negative. B squared is 12, negative 12 squared plus minus 4 times 4, a is 4, and c is 3 all over 2 times a, which is 4. So that means that x is equal to 12 plus or minus 144, and then that's 16 times 3. So that's 16 times 3, 4 times 4 times 16 times, so it's minus 68. all over 8. So then x is equal to 12 plus or minus 144 minus 48 is 96. Sorry, this says 48. And that's divided by 8. So then what we get is x is equal to 2 plus root 96 over 8, or x is equal to 12 minus root 96 over 8. And you can choose to simplify it in whichever form you feel most comfortable answering. Okay, so let's then have a look at the last one. Again, we're going to identify A, B, and C. Okay, so this one here is the same question as before. The fifth question is actually, let's remove this one. This is number 4 again. The fifth question is x plus 1 times x minus 5 is equal to negative 10. Now, this is a way that they love to give the question where it looks like it's factorized and the wrong thing to do. So let me be very clear. This is the wrong thing to do. So do not do this, is to say x plus 1 is equal to minus 10 or x minus 5 is equal to minus 10. This thing where you say the one factor is equal to 10 or the other is only for 0. It's only a property of 0. So that's the way they trick you, is they make you think that you can use it on any number, and it's not true. We can only use it on 0. So if this is not a 0, then we're going to have to multiply it out and solve it like how we usually do. So this here will require us to FOIL or to multiply these two binomials. So x times x. So basically what we're going to be doing, just a reminder, is distributing that x to both terms in that bracket and then distributing this 1 to both terms in that bracket. Okay, so it's double distribution law. So it's x squared minus 5x for the pink, and then plus x minus 5 for the blue is minus 10. We're going to grab everything over to one side. So we get x squared minus 5x plus x is positive 4x minus 5. And when we take this 10 over, it becomes positive 10. So this here is x squared plus 4x plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so we're using the formula for this one over here. So let us then have a look at the formula. So then our A, we can't see it, but A is 1, B is 4, and C is 5. So we have x is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So substituting b is 4, we get minus 4 plus or minus 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2, and a again is 1. Okay, so let's continue. This here is minus 4 plus or minus 16 minus 20 over 2, which is minus 4 plus or minus minus 4 over 2. Now there's a little red light that should go off right now when there's a negative under a square root. So what you should remember from your number systems, that a negative under square root is a non-real number. So this here is a non-real solution. So there's no real solution. So we will stop here and conclude that there's no real solution. We cannot have a square root under a negative for a real solution. Okay, please go over this video again if you have not understood it. Using the formula is fairly straightforward if you remember to equate one side to 0 and then to substitute into the formula correctly. Please watch the next video on completing this, solving using completing the square.